Hello, welcome to Sound and Fairy Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing my book stats video. So this is basically where I go through all the data of the books I read this year. I've compiled it all in a spreadsheet, so I've made little charts for you. So here we go. How many books did I read this year? I read 81, and that does not count the books that I've read since filming this video, which I filmed on the 22nd because I knew I wouldn't have time to film and edit this, given that covers video that I made. It took forever. So I was like, I'm going to film this now. So I probably read a couple actually between then and now, but I will include those in January. So 81 books, that's 24,830 pages. Wow, that's a lot of pages. The shortest book I read was 60 pages, and that was Owl Eyes Motel, which is a novella. And the longest I read was 992 pages, and that was XX. The oldest book I read was from 1859, and that's A Tale of Two Cities. The newest was Burrowed, that comes out January 10th, 2023, so it's not even born yet. It's a fetal book. How many indie books did I read in 2022? Only 16. I thought I read more. I mean, that is more than one a month, but still, I thought I read like 25, but I guess it's more like 16. How many did I read from small presses? Also 16. Interesting. How many from big presses? 49. Of the bigger presses, which imprints did I read the most of? Because most, if it's not a small press, they're all part of the big five. So Ace Books, I read 3. Angry Robot, I read 4. Ballantine, I read 2. Orbit, I read 3. Solaris, I read 2. Penguin Random House, I read 2. Titan, I read 4. Tor, 7. And Tor.com, 2. So, the rest were either 1 from each imprint, or they were small presses or indie pub. So, did I read ebooks or print or audiobook? I read 38 print books this year. I read 28 ARCs, so that's 28 free books, and not just from NetGalley. I'll get to NetGalley later. And I read 5 ebooks, and I read 10 audiobooks. So there we go. In terms of type of print, I read 19 paperbacks, 8 hardcovers, and 11 mass market paperbacks. That's these little tiny guys here. How did I get these books? I got 17 books on Amazon. I know. I got 10 books on Audible, which I guess also Amazon. I got 11 books from the author, from Book Sirens, from a publisher, or from a book tour. So that's 11 free books. Yay! I got 12 books from a used bookstore. I got 2 books from Chapters Indigo. I got 3 from the library. I got 1 as a loan. I got 3 as a gift, and I got 21 from NetGalley. So thank you, NetGalley, for the free books. I read 6 novellas this year. And in terms of series versus standalone books, I read 51 standalone titles and 30 from a series. In terms of the series, I read 18 that were book 1 of the series, and I read 12 that were book 2 plus of the series. So I'm very much one to start a series and then never continue with it, so. Now, how many books did I read per month? January, I only read 4. February was 8. March was 7. April was 8. May was 8. June was 9, July was 8, August was 7, September was 5, October was 6, November was 5, and December was 6. So January last year was somehow the worst year. I think I was really sick. I got COVID in January, I think. Yeah, that's why. So, yeah. I was sick for like 2 weeks. I couldn't read anything. In terms of genres, so I read 1 women's fiction, 1 domestic suspense, 1 contemporary novel, 1 graphic novel, 1 literary fiction, 1 nonfiction, 2 classics, 2 mystery thrillers, 2 romance, 2 translations, 4 historical fictions, 5 horror, which is not enough, 10 fantasy, and 47 science fictions. And I read, and of those sci-fis, 8 were classic sci-fi. 8, that's it? I usually read 1 a month. Whatever. Other statistics. So last year I got stats about the author's backgrounds, but this year I didn't bother because half the time you don't get a definitive answer on a couple of them. I do try to read a lot of queer books, as many as I can find in sci-fi fantasy, really. And I don't really read like LGBTQ plus contemporary fiction. I don't read a lot of contemporary fiction anyway, so I try to get that from sci-fi, but it's hard because you either get, it's just hard to find. Yeah, I did read 2 books by trans authors this year, and I strove to read more books by people not of my racial background. It's hard because I don't like look at the authors when I'm requesting a book on NetGalley, or even like when I'm buying a book. I'm just like, this sounds cool. Maybe I should. I don't know. It's hard. Like, how much of the onus of that is on me, and how much of the onus is on publishers to publish stuff that is, diverse. I don't know. I don't know. It's a struggle. I do know, though, that I read 2 books by couples and 35 by women and 44 by men. So I gotta work on that. Again, though, I don't look at that when I'm picking books. It's all just kind of random. So that doesn't really surprise me, because sci-fi still is a highly male genre, and that is a genre I tend to like. So that doesn't, and I read a lot of classic sci-fi, which is very much skews male in terms of authors. So, but I mean, it's almost parody there. Now, what is interesting, though, is I did track kind of the main characters, and this is kind of cool because we have a lot of men writing women main characters. Because of the books I read, 44 had a female main character, and 24 had a male main character. And then we had 2 that had non-binary or trans characters, and then we had 13 with either a shared, like a shared bunch or couple of characters, where we had, both were main characters or multiple were main characters, or the main character was not a human. Either they were a bird, like feral creatures, or maybe an alien or something like that. I read 20 books where the main character was a person of color, which does not seem like enough out of the 81 books that I read, and 47 where the main character was white, and then 14 were as undetermined, they didn't mention it, or they weren't human again. I read 15 books where the main character was LGBTQ+. I read 45 where they were just straight up straight, and I read 8 where it was not specified, or there were multiple MCs with different sexualities. So that was kind of interesting to me. I should compare it to last year, but I can't find my notes. I don't know where they went. So I'm going to keep track of this year. I have a better system now. So I'm going to see if it changes next year. I'm just interested. I think it's fun. And just to end this, I have a couple YouTube stats I thought I would share. You guys might find it interesting given you're watching this on YouTube. So I want to thank you guys, though, so much. I started off 2022 with 151 subs, and now, as of this filming, 290. So that's wonderful. I just love sharing book reviews with you guys. I mean, I'm always not doing this to try to get a career, or I would probably put some money into it, but I don't, as you can tell by my cruddy editing. But yeah, I just love doing it, and I want to do a special shout out to Tuffy McTavish, who always comments on my videos. Thank you so much. I can't wait for your comments because they're always so much fun, so thank you. If you guys are curious, my most watched video was Impact Winter, which is surprising to me. And my least liked video at like 87% was Armada for some reason. I don't even think many people watched that video, but I guess someone just really didn't like it. I was surprised. I thought my Fifth Element video got way less likes, but that's fine. Maybe it was just that one man. Yeah. 2023 is going to be fun. I'm going to keep doing my classic sci-fi reviews. I'm going to review more sci-fi, obviously. I have tons of arcs coming up on the radar, and I still plan to about 2 videos a week. So yeah, stick around with my channel, and this is going to be the last video with my Denny. That's my pug, my Denny end screen, if you even get to that part of my video, because as you might know, he passed away back in March, so I think it's time that I stop using his video. So I might make one with my other dog. Probably not. I'm pretty lazy. So as you can tell again by my editing and stuff, I do a lot of stuff half-assed. But what I don't do half-assed is read. So yeah, I hope you guys have a happy new year, and I will see you in 2023. What? Okay, I'm not gonna do that.